Spider-Man is finally getting a shoot date, guys. We've been talking about it on this show for a while. What's going to happen? The script is good. They think it's good. Can Sony get past the multiverse thing? Will Marvel Studios say, "Yeah, don't worry about the street level stuff. We'll do what you guys want to do." Whatever happened, they came to some kind of agreement because Tom Holland says that they're going to be shooting next summer, which pretty much means that they'll have a 2026 summer release date. With the news of Blade getting canceled or not on the schedule anymore and new movies coming, this is seeming like they have a plan of what they want to do. And it also seems like they're leading up to the Avengers movie, which will get Tom Holland probably in the driver's seat as probably the protagonist. But we'll discuss that and more today. It's myself and the rare duo of Steph and Brett back on the show. So let's do it. Here we go. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the show. It's myself, Kristian Harloff, and joined by Steph Sabra. Hello, Steph.
I think Brett. Do you think Brett's gonna ditch because he knows he has the show with me? Oh,
he made it.
Wow, Brett.
He made it.
You didn't ditch me again?
Oh man, I tried.
I don't think.
Oh no.
I don't think it's really Brett who's ditching. I think it's been Mike. Mike's been a real turncoat.
That's true. What is it? Like, I can't stink from across the screen.
No. So, well, you know what it is? I think the competition's getting even crazier now because Steph last week, I don't know if you know this, Brett. Steph, not last week, 2 weeks ago, went on her lonesome because Mike bailed on her, and she wound up getting in the hundreds and winning the week. And last week, Steph bailed on Mike, and Mike wound up winning the whole week with 113. So Mike said, well, screw this. I'm going to join Roxy. And they defeated Roka yesterday at 73. So the question is, Brett, I don't think you've ever won one of these things, have you?
Well, here's the thing. My extensive movie news knowledge usually gets us all the questions. But, yeah, I mean, bring them on. Bring them on. I'm an open book, people. I don't know why you don't ask me more stuff. I cannot tell why.
They don't want to ask you anything. So, but Steph is here, and Steph is part of the 100 question club. We'll see if you can get Brett there today. Roxy and Roxy and Mike at the moment hold the lead at 73. So we do have some big news here as they announced that this movie, Spider-Man 4, they've been talking about it forever. When's it going to happen? It's coming off of No Way Home, which was a $1 billion movie. Massive, waiting, seeing how it's going to all pan out. Well, we got an answer, as it looks like they're going to start shooting next summer. Next summer. And it looks like Tom Holland is talking. Once again, he says, he confirmed it, that he's on board for Sony and Marvel's Spider-Man 4, and the project has got a shooting window set. He was on Jimmy Kimmel, and he said, with some visible relief, it's happening, before going on to explain that the filming begins next summer. He said, everything's good to go. We're nearly there. It's super exciting. I can't wait. This matches with reports throughout the week indicating that Holland has a very busy time ahead with both Avengers Doomsday, Christopher Nolan's next film, shooting in the early half of 2025, and then a fourth Spider-Man taking up the back half of the year. There's no further details that were offered on who his co-stars will be or any storyline whatsoever, though there has been no shortage of speculation. One possibility is that Tom Hardy's Venom would team with Spidey, and that was shot down by Hardy today, who told AP News, I don't see him in the next Spider-Man movie because I have the script. I'd have the script, and I don't have that script. Spider-Man No Way Home began filming in October 2020, ahead of a December 2021 release. So if this starts shooting late summer, fall holiday 2026 release seems to be on the cards. I think they can get it done in a year. So I don't necessarily think that's true. I think that they could get it within a year. I think if they start shooting in summer, they could get it in summer of 2026. But they did have a big opening. I think it was November, December of whatever that was in 2022. So maybe they want to repeat that. But Steph, you hear this news. I don't know if you've been keeping up with it at all, but do you think that A, good thing that they're starting? B, do you think that this pretty much locks down that Tom Holland is going to be the lead of the Marvel Cinematic Universe leading into the Avengers?
Yeah, I think so. I thought this was cool news. It was unexpected to me. I kind of I don't know. To me, I thought we were closed the chapter, but I'm not mad at it. So it was nice to hear. I don't know what direction they're gonna go. I feel like we left off on a cool in a cool sad place for Spider-Man
Mm-hmm.
where everyone doesn't know who he is. So that will be I think that's a begin like a nice beginning for him. And it makes sense that he would take the lead. I don't think that people have Tom Holland fatigue, or at least I don't feel that way, even though he has been used a lot. It doesn't seem like he's been overused.
Yeah, I don't think he's been over years. I mean, look, we've been waiting for him to return, and he's been one of the more beloved characters in the MCU. They don't have anybody, and especially with Downey returning as the villain in this one, who could really be the lead of the MCU right now. Like, we don't really have a lead, or like, Iron Man was the lead, Captain America was the lead. Who's the lead of the MCU right now? So
Right.
I would assume it's going to be Tom. And Brett, I know you've been keeping up with all this. You've been locked into it. You've been paying attention. You've been sending me the updates. What do you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
How do you
exactly.
feel?
Well, as somebody who has definitely seen every single one
Yes.
of the Tom Holland Spider-Man films, I mean, he is Spider-Man.
John Spiderman.
And
John
yeah,
Spiderman.
John Spider-Man, and he should lead everything.
John
Honestly,
Spider-
I have not seen any of the Spider-Man films. I don't know why. Of all the
Have you never
MCU
seen any of
films-
them?
No, I don't know how this one. Like, you know what it was?
Wow.
You couldn't get it streaming because it was like a Sony property, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
then
Yeah,
I'm
you
too
can now.
cheap to buy it or rent it.
Oh.
But now we got to go back and watch it. But saying that, seeing him in the Avengers movies, I do think that he is, the best Spider-Man we've had. Don't get at me in the chat, people.
I agree with you. He's my
Yeah.
favorite Spider-Man.
He's the
And
most.
I like all three of them.
Yeah, he's the most teen angsty one of them all. I feel like the other ones seem like older gentlemen. They didn't seem high schoolish to me as much as Tom Holland does.
Yeah, physically. Physically, Tom Holland is such a gem for filming because he
Mhm.
is aging. He just is kind of staying in this cool zone where I'm like, are you 15 or are you 30? I don't know.
Yeah, just like me.
Yeah, exactly. I was
Just
just
like-
about to say that, Brett.
Well, you're Brett. It was just such good analyzation on everything you did there that I don't think we need to do anything. I think we can move on.
Yeah, we can move on
no.
from this one.
I do think that this is. I do think that this is an important thing because it's like Marvel needs this big, I guess, movie, this big linchpin that's going to help them push into the Avengers with Doomsday. So we'll see how that turns out. I'm very curious. Steph, you were going to say?
Well, I'm just because we have so many young characters coming, and people keep talking about Young Avengers, but they've never officially announced that. And it is curious thinking about who are the main characters. We do have a new Captain America, but it is like it is a confusing place to be. I guess we still have Shang-Chi too, but
Do we?
I don't know.
It's
Do we or do we not?
I don't know. That movie was like 4 years ago, and it's like
That would be a shame.
I mean, he would probably show up in the Avengers, but like, what happened to the sequel? It's like they just disappeared.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he hasn't appeared in any other movie. Like no post-credit scenes, nothing.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's depressing to think about. Yeah, it's like we have all these characters floating that it feels like they haven't chosen anyone. So maybe this is their first step into choosing something for this next chapter. But I like all the characters introduced, like Yelena and Hawk Girl.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see them all together.
I mean, I think that the new Avengers movie that they do is going to be the biggest and grandest thing that you've ever seen. I think there's going to be so many different characters. The question is how they're going to do it within 2 movies, and they're starting to already lead up to it. Shoot, that's I think what is the encouraging thing here is that the plan is in motion clearly, from the casting and the showcasing of Downey to Holland finally doing this movie. They're ramping up to it, so we'll see how it plays out. I am curious what you guys think about this. Put your comments in there. Do you think that, and also the other question is when, and I guess Steph, before we move on, when do you think, if they start shooting in 2025 of summer, Do you think that they're going to try to do the same thing that they did and when they landed in November of 2021, I think it was? When was it? 2021? 2022? I can't remember. I think it was 2022. 2022. But
Oh yeah, it was 2022.
yeah, but it was the end. It was December, I think. But either way, do you think they're going to go for a kind of holiday thing again, or do you think that they'll try to go big and go summer?
I think the holiday slot really worked. I mean, that was one of the biggest. That movie was so talked about that I feel like it would be, why not just go in that area? I know people always talk about summer blockbusters, but to me, I love seeing November, December movies because that's when you're with your family. And I do think Spider-Man's a family guy.
Yeah, you want to hear a crazy stat, though? Before The Force Awakens, there was no movie, you guys can fact check me on this, there is no movie that ever came out before The Force Awakens that ever cracked 100 million opening weekend.
In that time.
Before 2000 and what was that? 2015 when that movie came out. Before 2015, there was never a movie that had opened at 100 million. Then Star Wars opened, and then they started opening big movies at that time, and it became like the new season. There was always big movies at that time, but it had never done that type of thing. So, yeah. So families are going to be pretty excited for December because that's a good time. That is a good time for people to get together on Christmas to check it out.
Except if they do this new Marvel thing where I feel like I do think older people, like the parents, are getting more lost in Marvel because of all the shows and they're just not keeping up with it. So I do hope that they're doing it in a way which makes it feel not confusing for people, or else like what's the point of a family going if they feel like they had to see 20 other movies and shows to get caught up?
Yeah, and please put it in subtitles for us old folk.
For real. Yeah, you said
I as somebody who is in the older generation now, over 50, I hate hearing that things are going to come out for a couple of years. I don't have many years left.
Oh, stop it.
You know
what I realized, because Galaxy Geeks is in here and he's watching, and he makes a great point, Steph. You know why I don't think it's going to come out in December? And
why?
I think you'll change your tune real fast because for sure what's supposed to come out is Avatar in that month. That's part one. That's enough to close.
That'll do all right.
I think so. That's enough.
I didn't think about that.
That's enough to close it out. That in general, you don't want to go on competition, essentially with yourself. Even if it's Sony, you're still teaming up with the Marvel Studios, and people are like, let's stay away from Avatar. And as of right now, there's supposed to be a Star Wars movie in 2026 also. And that's supposed to land at that time because they have one in The Mandalorian and Grogu. That's in May. But then you've got whatever else shit piece they're going to put out in December. Then
I don't think that's happening.
Maybe not. It doesn't seem. I think it's going to get canceled. But if it does stick to it, then it's potential that you don't want to. You don't want.
That's a great point. Yeah.
You don't want to battle that. So I think within the year, they can make it happen, and you can own it. So I think
agree.
that'll work. Yeah. All right, put your comments in there. Tell me what you guys think about when you think it'll be released, all that and more. We have a lot of different stories, a lot of things. Actually, a story that just broke we'll talk about. But before we do that, I'll tell you about AG1 and our friends over at BILT. Here you go. Let's talk AG1. I love AG1. I had it this morning. I love it. It helps you build a healthy morning routine. 60 seconds to get your daily dose of vitamins, minerals, pre and probiotics, adaptogens, more, and I've been drinking it for, forever. You can't be part of this show if you haven't heard me talking about AG1. I'm going to give you a couple of fast facts about AG1 and how it supports your gut health. It contains prebiotics, probiotics, and gut-supporting ingredients to support your digestion, reduce bloating, and keep you regular. In a research study, 80% of participants noticed less gas and bloating after 30 days of drinking AG1. For me, I've had a lot of changes since I started to. I sleep better, better gut health, my focus, stress, all of it. It's just great. AG1's powder form makes it easy for your body to digest and access the nutrient-dense ingredients in the formula. They've been around with us for so long because so many of you guys have been doing it also. You've been getting AG1, you've been checking it out, you've been changing your routines, and it's worked. So if you want to start and notice the difference for yourself, it's a great first step to invest in your health, and that's why they've been a proud partner of mine for so long. Try AG1 and get a free bottle of Vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 Travel Packs with your first purchase at drinkag1.com/bigthing. $48 value for free if you go to drinkag1.com/bigthing. Go ahead, check it out. BILT. I really hope that people are going to start taking advantage here of BILT, because listen up, renters. If you ever feel like you're stuck in this loop of rent payments, just watching your money vanish into thin air, it is time to turn that rent game around and start earning some serious rewards, and that's where BILT Rewards comes in. You've done that before. You've been there. You're like, I'm burning cash with all the rent checks. I'm there all the time. I feel like it. It's frustrating, but here's the deal. BILT Rewards has figured out a way to make rent more rewarding. You say goodbye to the money bonfire and hello to a renter's revolution with BILT. BILT is breaking ground as a neighborhood rewards program that hooks you up with points on your rent. Every month, you pay your rent and you watch the BILT points roll in. You can use your points to book fitness studio classes, redeem them towards a future rent payment. They're designed to meet your lifestyle. Pay rent hassle-free through the BILT Rewards app. Your rent game just got a major upgrade. BILT points have consistently ranked the highest value point currency by the Points Guy and Bank Rate. Earn points by paying rent now when you go to joinbilt.com/bigthing. That's joinbilt, BILT.com/bigthing. And make sure to use our URL so they know that we sent you. Joinbilt.com/bigthing to start earning points with your rent payments today. All right, thank you to both BILT and AG1. And thank you. I just got a message yesterday from somebody who signed up to BILT because of our ads and said, hey, I checked it out, really, really liked it, and I want to help you guys out. And it's something that I didn't even know about. Now I do. So thank you to Tony for that. Okay, so let's move on and let's get to this next story, which there is a bigger story that hit with Chris Hemsworth, but I'm not going to get to that just yet, guys. I want to talk about Venom, The Last Dance. Saw this last night, and now there's some reactions, and they're pointing to a fitting send-off for Tom Hardy's Lethal Protector. The embargo on Venom Last Dance social media reactions is lifted ahead of Wednesday's reviews, but what are critics saying about Tom Hardy's supposed final ride as the Lethal Protector? Following the world premiere of Venom, this social media reactions for the threequel have started hitting X, and this is kind of an older thing from the other night, but Spider-Man 4 rumors have helped fuel interest. But scoopers have allowed their imaginations to run wild. Josh Wilding says that he saw it, and it's one of the most cinematic, monumental Venom movies to date. Eddie Brock and Venom's dynamics is at its strongest. Chris Callan says Venom Last Dance is a wacky buddy road trip that stretches its PG-13 rating as far as it'll go. Simply put, it's a classic guilty pleasure cinema. And then Drew Taylor says it's one of the best Venom movies. The insanity has been ramped up significantly. Who let us out? It's phenomenal. Laughs, even a cry, maybe some fun surprises. Okay. I saw the movie, and I will tell you. Well, let me ask you this before I even go into it. I forget, Steph. You don't care about these movies, right?
No, they're
too goofy.
No, it's not that. They're just fine. I don't resonate with the character that much. I mean, surprisingly, we look exactly the same, but they're fine to me. I don't think they're bad. They don't move me that much.
Do you watch it?
No. Surprisingly, because I watch everything.
Yeah, but yeah. Have you never seen any Venom movies?
No, because you know what? The reason I didn't is because I didn't hear great things about them. So I didn't like.
Let me ask you a question, Brett. What do you think would have been better to put you on? A movie podcast or a mixed martial arts podcast?
Mixed martial arts.
You think so?
You're just picking all my weak spots now. I'm caught up to date on you know what? We do television. Agatha. I'm mad that I wasn't able to watch the rest of that, but we'll get to that later.
Okay.
Right?
Well, yeah, we can talk Agatha later if you are actually watching that. And Steph wants to look at Steph. She's excited to want to listen to that conversation. So what I'll tell you about Venom is this. The first movie, because I like Tom Hardy so much, right? So the first movie I was a little let down by. I knew what they were going for. It's this kind of goofy 90s way of doing superhero movies, and they play with the humor. They don't really take themselves too seriously, and it is exactly what a lot of those tweets are saying. It's more about the buddy comedy, buddy film that Venom and Eddie Brock ultimately strike up. I thought that was done well in the first one, and how they played with it just wasn't. It's not my type of movie, right? And the second one, I just didn't think was a good movie. As much as I love Andy Serkis, I just didn't think it was a great movie. The third movie, I will agree, out of the three of them, I think is the best one. But I will also say, though, it's not going to, and I said this in my out of the theater reaction, it's not going to win anybody over that is like, oh, well, I didn't like that beforehand. I didn't like it, and now I do, because it was so different. There is exactly the same. It's like exactly. There are funny moments. It's a buddy comedy, and yeah, there's some moments. That's about it.
I guarantee you, and I'm gonna try to get to these because I guarantee you, I'm gonna like these because I'm a Hardy. I have a hard on. I think is what they say when you're a Hardy fan. I'm a Hardy stan. I pretty much like everything that he does.
Yeah, I mean, so you'll probably. I mean, I think you'll probably dig it, Brett, because you'll understand kind of what they're going for in general. I don't know why this is doing with Sony. I absolutely, I absolutely hate this. I absolutely hate this.
Hey man, this is it's your first year. We're just working some bugs.
Yeah,
yeah, that's
they're not bad movies at all. I just think they're super niche, and so if you like them, you like them. The commentary is exactly what I would think it would be if it was a good movie. They're not saying like, oh, this is like such a great Venom movie, you got to see it. They're saying this is the best of the Venom.
It's the best
movies.
of the three, right? It's not. It's not going to win. Like I said, it's not going to win you over. If it's like, Steph, I know you didn't. The first two aren't for you, but the third one really is for you. They changed it up. It's more serious. It's got this kind of vibe to it. It's got an emotional core to it. It doesn't have that. I mean, there's some emotional moments, sure, but I think the other thing that bummed me about it is that you guys, I don't know if you remember me talking about. Remember the show The Offer on Paramount Plus, the one about the Godfather. I loved that show, and one of the standouts in that show was Juno Temple. And she is such a good actress. I know people love her in Fargo also, but she's
so great.
She's criminally underused in this movie. It's like it could have been anybody.
Oh, that's crazy.
Could have been anybody. It was like they try to give her a backstory and she does what she can with it, but they don't really give her much to do. Same goes with Chiwetel Ejiofor. It could have been anybody. It's like these are two like phenomenal actors, and they just
right.
Rhys Ifans did a decent job, for what he was in. But like, it's one of those movies that if you're sitting home and it pops up on whatever streaming platform you're watching, those were fun. I had a fun time watching that because I saw it with some other critics last night, and then I was just walking out. One of the guys that I've kind of become friendly with, he was walking out and he goes, "What'd you think? It was fun, right?" I said, "Did you like the other ones?" He's like, "I did." And I said, "You probably love this one." He's like, "I thought it was a lot of fun." And I was like, "Yeah, 100%." I said, they don't land for me the same way that they land for other people, and if they do, it's better than the second one. That's how I led it. That's how I led the out of the theater. It's better than the second one. So
that's good.
So there you go. Curious what you guys think about it. Are you going to go see Venom this weekend? That's another thing I'm curious about. I really want to see how this movie's going to do, because Sony needs it to do well. Sony really needs it to do well. The question is, will it? Will it do well? How do you guys think it'll do? And are you going to go see it? I wonder. Did you hear about this? Because it just broke while we were here.
Ooh.
Thor star Crim's Hemsworth. Crims. Good old Crims.
Oh, Crim's Hemsworth.
Good old Crimsy. Do you know what I realized, Brett, before we get into this? Do you know who Steph doesn't who do you think Steph doesn't hate that Roxy hates?
Oh, Big Ball.
What's up, baby?
Oh.
How you doing, girl?
Yeah. Hey, nice to hear your voice again.
See, this is why I like talking to you, and I don't get too fresh because I just talk to you, right? I like those ears. It reminds me of a little pumpkin I had a thing with one time.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, it was filthy.
What are you being for Halloween?
Well, I was gonna be a tractor trailer. I was gonna put some wheels next to my balls and fly around the moon.
Oh, that will be a sight to see. You should take that to Christmas and drop off gifts.
Hey, I want you to go back and remember what you just said. It's a sight to see.
Yeah.
See, right, asshole?
Yes. Steph is does very well with the yes and.
Yes.
I will say she rolls with some of the craziest shit we've done.
Right. And
Flirting with the flirting flouse.
Stints.
I miss their flirt and flouse.
Oh, we haven't seen him. He hasn't made an appearance in a very long time.
He gets brought up in comments for my other show.
Yes. Okay. So I'm so glad you brought that up. This is something we did. We did this in Brett, do me a favor. Text me a link to a video from Above Board TV right now.
Okay.
Text me a link. So this is what we did during the pandemic era. Brett and I, when we got, for I don't know, newer viewers who don't know this, or people who don't remember, we wound up shaving our heads, and Brett created we created Zaflirt and Flouse, and then we told the audience to basically start tweeting out and get Zaflirt and Flouse literally started trending. It was trending.
What?
It was the best.
Yeah.
It was trending,
Yeah,
and like
I think I remember
people were
this.
tweeting at celebrities about it and everything. It's why it became legendary. So what I would like to do, I really want to confuse Brett's coworkers. Like, you just send it to me, Brett? Okay.
Just send it to you.
All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to confuse the hell out of his coworkers. So for those people who are watching live, I'm going to post a link in.
Wait, I think I just sent you.
You sent me Rocket Money. You sent me a Rocket Money. Well, that comes later. Why don't you send me Rocket Money?
You have to wait for the ad to finish playing before you share. Apparently, I didn't know that was a thing.
No, it's not. It's not. Is that?
And I gotta mute it too.
Well, wait a minute. No. This is you sent me. You're like my dad.
Yeah.
It's like no.
He sent you a Venmo request.
You sent a link to Rocket Money, which is great. We're gonna talk about Rocket Money later, but
no, I know.
But no, you know what?
That was my intention. There it is.
That's the link. You sent me a new one.
Yeah. It was because I didn't let the ad finish, and I shared the ad. I didn't realize that was a thing, but now it is, folks.
All right, here's what I'm gonna do. Right, so I'm gonna post a link right now in the chat room, and what I want you guys to do. Should we just do? What do you think, Steph? Should we just have them talk about some flirt and flouse in there?
Yes.
Okay. So here's the link. I want people to say, Zaflirt and Flouse is the greatest pop star of all time. Zaflirt and Flouse needs to make a comeback. Zaflirt and Flouse, you tell them your favorite album. Please confuse these people who I like, but confuse them. I just put a link in the description right now, and whether it's a PLD or Galaxy Geeks, if you can pin that comment for me, please. You can undo the other one, and this is something I would like to see. I want to go to that comment section, and I want to see Zaflirt and Flouse. And how many comments are on that video right now, Brett?
I don't think that many. Maybe just one.
There's only one comment? Okay, so let's get at least 40 comments about Zaflirt and Flouse. I'm going to go back and check.
The thing is, on this show, if you get like a comment, one of our comments becomes a winner of a free board game.
That is hilarious. So please, definitely do that. Oh my God, I want to confuse them. I want Travis to be. Does Travis even know who Zaflirt and Flouse is?
He saw the comment, and I think he knows it's a character, but doesn't know the extent.
He doesn't know the extent of the fact that he became a Schmodown manager and almost had a relationship.
An icon.
Yes, and almost had a relationship with Jen Sturger. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that was great that we quit that story.
Right, I know. Right as the whole thing went down, I have the vision of him homeless in that shot from Spectacular, just like, does anybody help me? Anyway, so this was this story was pretty big and just dropped, and that's this Chris Hemsworth thing, right? So I don't understand completely, because I know that they did a live action Cinderella already, and so what the hell
was gangbusters, right?
It did very well. It was Kenneth Branagh. Yeah, that did very well. To me, I still think that's one of the best ones, if not the best live action that they did. But Thor,
I loved that one.
Yeah, it was really good.
Oh, not Cinderella. I'm thinking of Snow White.
That hasn't come out yet.
But that one there was a lot.
That has a lot of heat on it.
Yeah, because
but it looks good to me. Well,
does it?
Other than the CGI dwarves.
I don't know. CGI. I just
No,
don't.
they're technically dwarves. That's okay to
Yes, you
call
can say
Because they're
that.
still called dwarf. That's the characters, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I love Peter.
And
Yeah, I love Peter Dinklage, but I think that he did a disservice to people who were trying to get jobs. So they were replaced by CGI monstrosities, and they could have been actual dwarves. I think that was a mistake by Peter Dinklage. Thor: Love and Thunder star Chris Hemsworth has joined the cast of Paul King's Wonka live-action Prince Charming. Oh, he's got a Prince Charming has his own movie. Oh, he's his own movie.
That's interesting.
As the
Of the
title
male
character.
POV.
Wow.
yeah, thank God.
That's pretty.
Because these female-driven films are getting out of hand. Let's get some male, some more male-driven.
There haven't been a lot of them though recently. I'll tell you that recently. There haven't
I
been.
hope they make him, well, we'll let you read, but I hope they make him like an alpha male a-hole who has to reform.
I wonder. I don't know. I wonder what they're gonna. This is what I haven't read the story yet, but
Okay.
I wonder if they're actually going to make it like a real story, or it's going to be kind of like a goofy comedy, like he was in Ghostbusters. You know? 'Cause
Yeah,
he's
or
been-
like the one with is it Chris Pine and Amy Adams?
Oh, yeah.
Enchanted.
Shannon, is that?
Yeah,
Enchanted?
it wasn't
Is that what
it wasn't Chris Pine. It was what's his face? James Marsden.
James Marsden. I'm so sorry.
No, it's
You're
okay.
I
No,
hate doing that. But yes,
Yeah.
that I liked that
Yeah,
the vibe
but
they gave in that.
I know, but I wonder if that fits for this. I'd like to see a serious movie, but I wonder if they're going to do that. Let's see.
My
Yes.
guess. Sorry, my guess is that this is going to be. He is going to be the Ken of a Barbie movie. I feel like there will be Cinderella, right? That's Cinderella. Prince Charming.
Cinderella.
Well, but here's this is all right. Let's get into the story itself because there's a lot of interesting stuff here.
Let's make assumptions and not read the story.
Yes. All right. So first of all, we got Paul King directing, who just did Wonka, which that's a movie. When next time someone asks me a question in the comment section about what's a movie that when the first time you saw it you thought was either okay or didn't like it and then has grown on you, Wonka is that movie for me. And it's probably what someone asked me that question yesterday, so I should have thought that. Because when I saw it in the theater, I said, it's fine, it's okay. I didn't mind it. And then I watched it with my kids, really liked it. Watched it again with my kids, loved it. I really think it's a very charming movie. And Paul King from the Paddington movies and then this, and now he's doing this. So, yeah, there's humor in all of those movies, obviously, but there's a lot of heart in those movies also. So Paul King is on board to direct a Prince Charming movie for Disney. Whether it's a prequel or a sequel remains unclear, though the latter seems more likely with the addition of Chris Hemsworth. According to Deadline, the Avengers Endgame and Thor star is in talks to play the iconic character. It's an intriguing role for Hemsworth in a year that's seen him widely praised for his work in Furiosa, Mad Max Saga, and Transformers 1. Prince Charming plot details are being kept secret, but King is co-writing the movie alongside Simon Farnaby and John Croker. As a result, it will likely be his next feature following last year's Wonka. Prince Charming is the love interest of Cinderella in the 1950 animated classic. Unlike many other Disney princes, Prince Charming's character is not deeply developed in the original film. He's simply portrayed as a handsome and noble figure who falls in love with Cinderella at the royal ball. I think he was played pretty well by the King of the North in the Cinderella Brana one. I think it was pretty good. And they gave him a little bit more depth. So I was going to say at one point maybe Lily Collins would do a cameo as Cinderella, but then I'm like, if it's a sequel, but it's like, yeah, but then they don't have Richard Madden playing.
Oh yeah.
I was curious that that Paul King didn't just, if it is a sequel, why he didn't go after Richard Madden. I don't know. Yeah. What do you think, Steph?
That is weird. I don't know because I liked him in that role. I obviously love Chris Hemsworth, but that is odd. I wonder. I don't know where they can go with that, or if they're just going to be like, "This is him."
Yeah. Wasn't it Lily James?
That.
Lily James is
yeah.
That's I said there. Someone said Lily James. So yeah, wasn't Lily James Cinderella?
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, I thought that was right. Maybe I don't know. Maybe
Right.
I'm wrong. Brett, are you excited for this or what?
I mentioned this, and I was being completely serious. I think if you make something that is just Prince Charming and completely like minimizes Cinderella, you're up for some bad shit.
Yeah.
You're gonna get hate for that.
If what?
That's my
If what?
thought,
Wait,
but
if what?
if you just take Cinderella out of the equation and you just focus completely on him, I have a feeling that they're keeping the Cinderella element
Secret?
you know, they're gonna make it like I said, he's gonna become like more developed, but showing that a woman doesn't need Prince Charming. They need, you know, I that's my thought. What do you think, Steph, as a millennial?
Yeah, I think it is funny because when you watch those movies, the men have it's like they're one of the few movies where the men are so one dimensional, and it really is just about the women, and then they just show that they're brave and in love. Like that's the two, unless you're in Milan, I feel like with Lynn, he has more development, but they're still pretty one dimensional. Because Aladdin, the movie is Aladdin.
Oh.
So it will be interesting to see. I think that's fun, like to switch the perspective of it and to see it from the prince's lens and to make them less boring.
Yeah. Oh, you know, I originally said Lily Collins, by the way. I was thinking of
Oh.
James. So, yeah.
I said Lillian Gish, so I was
Close.
way off.
Brett,
Right.
11 comments so far on that video, by the way.
Yeah, boy.
11 comments all on the flouse. So yeah, Brett, I'm gonna push back. I think that we're at a point now that it's okay if you have a movie that's driven with a prince. I think it's okay. There's enough. It's not one of these movies because there's a lot of stuff where you have movies. It's what I think the biggest problem, and I remember this. I remember when working at Warner Brothers, and there was no opportunity for women. There was no opportunity for people of color to lead movies. It just wasn't. It just didn't happen. They didn't. I remember being in a room thinking, well, they wouldn't put so and so there because people aren't going to go see them in the movie as the lead because of race. And things have changed dramatically. And I think that things have changed also with the amount of movies that people do get. That doesn't mean that it should stop. It means that it's okay if you do a Prince movie with Chris Hemsworth, as you say, people will get mad. So what? If it's like, okay, you do a Prince movie, you shouldn't cut out Cinderella if you don't need her. I mean, if you need her, but if you don't need her, put her in there. And so I don't know. Do you disagree? Agree, Steph?
Yeah, I don't think it will matter that because we have so many Cinderella movies. I think he's gonna have a love interest. It will probably be Cinderella, but does she have to be a massive role? No.
Right.
Like I think she could be filling the same role that Prince Charming fulfills in every Cinderella rendition.
Right, and so someone also brought up a good point. You put Chris Hemsworth in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Prince movie. You're gonna get. Someone said 10% of the audience will be men of this movie, and they won't. And the 90% who are gonna go see this because of Chris Hemsworth, right? And I don't think they're gonna really care if he is the sole lead of the film. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I'll be the husbands and the boyfriends.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Well, I personally think that, you know, women are wonderful and down with the patriarchy. So that's my stance on it. If my wife is watching, it's her birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Lonnie.
Yeah,
Happy birthday.
Don't be getting rid of Cinderella because men have enough good things for them, like the patriarchy that I've heard about so much.
Sitting it. Just sitting. All right, let's talk about this because Brett really wants to talk about Agatha. I guess that in the new episode, they're going to be dressed up as witches, which we're getting closer to Halloween. This show is about as Halloween as it gets. And so we're hours away from a new installment of Agatha, and Marvel Studios has released the first clip in the sneak peek. Lila prepares to divine Billy Maxwell's path through cards, explaining how they work and exactly what the layout of the table means. This is his trial, and each of the show's leads is decked out to look like famous witches. Okay, I don't want to ruin it for myself yet because we're going to watch it. Sadie and I are going to do a reaction of it. So you guys can gush over the show because they both, Brett, you really dig it.
Yeah, I dig it, and we were bummed that we didn't realize that it hadn't been all put out. We thought, you know, so we I think we banged through the whole season in one night.
You guys banged while you were watching the whole season?
Yeah, yeah. It makes it, we have to go back and rewatch a lot of stuff
Because you don't know what's going on because you're too focused on each other. Right. Joy mode.
too focused on banging.
Yeah.
But no, I think it was one night or two that we did them, and I was like, oh crap! So it does come out tonight.
Yes.
No, it came out last night.
Tonight.
Oh no, these are live, so we don't have to pretend it's a different day. Got it.
Yes. Yeah. There's an actual chat right now, and they're commenting on your video. Remember?
Oh yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
What day is it?
Yeah. I don't think you know. Do you? Anyway, the show I think has, as we mentioned many times over, we're gonna have to rehash stuff. They knew who they were going after. I think they hit that. They know this is like what I will say. The thing I was surprised about is that this is a show that I didn't think was going to really tie into the MCU at all, and how were they going to do that with what they were doing here? And over the last episode or two episodes rather, I think that I said, oh, I can see how they can maneuver this into the grand scheme of things. Do you think so also?
Yeah, definitely. I think that I just think it's a quality show. So I feel like even if it's not your favorite, it's not like painful. I can't imagine it's painful to watch unless you're homophobic. Then I do think it might be a painful watch for you.
Wait. Just that's not the only reason. If you don't like,
No, but I'm saying painful, like literally painful. I'm not being exaggerating on that term. I'm saying like painful to watch. Like I hate this so much.
Right. You're saying so people who are just hateful in general are not going to be people who like it. But if there are people who don't like it, it's not because they're homophobic.
No, I didn't say don't like. Don't get it twisted. When I'm not like one of those people that don't use my words well. I'm quite literally using my words literally.
Okay.
If you are hate the show, disgusted by it.
Right. Hate.
Hate like
Agreed.
that. Right. I'm because it's not poorly written and it's not poorly acted and it's not poorly shot. So that's what that's what makes a show and a movie. So but don't read into that too much, guys. You could not like it, and that's totally fine. I'm just saying if you hate it. So I feel like it's good enough where most people will be able to watch it and be like, okay, I'm tied into it now. It's not like one of those shows where I feel like a lot of people didn't watch it because it just didn't gain their interest in any way, and then it will be confusing for them.
Yeah. I think
I agree with Steph. The whole audience is homophobic.
Everybody, everybody watching. If you don't like Brett's beer,
I got what you were saying completely. Is that the only if you are homophobic,
right?
Then
you're definitely
probably don't like it.
Right. I agree with that. Steph, I know you're excited for Dune. Did you hear? You hear the news yesterday?
No.
So Dune 3 looks like it's going to start shooting. I think they said 2026. So 2027 is when it will come out. It'll be 4 years or 3 years from when it comes out. The third one. However, we got a TV show coming up this year, right around the corner. And so let's check this out. This is Dune Prophecy, and this is HBO is going back to Arrakis with its upcoming TV series Dune Prophecy, which is a prequel, and it is set 10,000 years before the events of Frank Herbert's novel and Denis Villeneuve's film adaptation, and it follows the origins of the Bene Gesserit's order. The series was greenlit in 2019 and famously underwent a creative overhaul a few months into filming, with the showrunner being replaced and some of the cast overhauled. Filming resumed and wrapped nearly a year ago in Budapest, the series opting not to use stagecraft virtual production technology in favor of practical sets and costly production values. Though Villeneuve or the film's writer, John Spates, aren't involved in the project, executive producer Jordan Goldberg tells Empire the new show is definitely set in the same universe as the films. He adds the tone and designs of the films impacted what they do here, but as a series, they get to play around a little more with the genre. He said, we feel like we have to follow the essence of what Denis has done. He has set the tone along with the political intrigue. There's a great deal of espionage, a great deal of action and adventure. There's a romance, and what's really exciting to me is that we also get to do a lot of horror stuff. Co-showrunner Alison Shapker explains that despite being set millennia before the films, the text set seen in the series will be relatively comparable to the films, and for good reason. During the machine wars, humans fought against computers and artificial intelligence and all the kind of things that we're rushing headlong to develop today. Dune imagines what it would be like if the worst case scenario happened and humans had to rebuild after almost coming to the brink of extinction. So technology is stagnated, computers are forbidden, you get a kind of neo-feudal meets science fiction futurism that offers an incredible texture. The 6-part streaming series follows sisters Valya and Tula Harkonnen as they combat forces that threaten the future of humanity and establish the fabled sect known as the Bene Gesserit. Okay. So I have not watched trailers of this on purpose. Have you, Steph?
No, the only time I see something is before Penguin.
Okay.
And they always played this trailer before Penguin, so I see a little of it. And when I first saw it, I was kind of shocked because I just missed this news. I didn't know it was in development. I didn't know it was happening. Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't know. So just because the movies have just come out and they're so good and at the forefront of everyone's mind. So maybe I heard it in the mix, but I thought they were talking about the movies or something. But it looks cool from the shots I've seen, but I'm trying not to pay too much attention to it because my initial instinct is like, why do it right now? And there's only so many books, so where it's not like Lord of the Rings where you have Tolkien's published works from his son that go in between works, before works, and after works. So I was just curious where they were going with it.
Well, I mean, they definitely have. I mean, you're right. They have a lot of books that lead past it, and I know that they're doing the 3rd book, and then there's a few other that come after that. But Denis not going to be involved in it. That's my biggest concern. Is not that they're doing a movie or a show. My concern is that he is not involved at all, because I didn't like the David Lynch Dune. I didn't like that world from how David Lynch brought it. I loved the way that Denis brought it. It became everything I've been wanting in Star Wars recently. Those last 2 movies was like, oh my God, if Star Wars could get their crap together and do this, it'd be amazing. Loved what Dune did. Dune 2 is still my favorite movie of the year, and I don't think it'll get dethroned. It is incredible. Brett, did you finally watch the second one?
Yeah, and I'm kind of with Steph on this one. I'm not sure what going back that far is going to do. I mean, I would prefer, because I liked it. I had a little trouble following it. I think it's something that I have to watch a couple times. I would have liked something that will help the story of the films and not something that's like complete, like 10,000 years before. But maybe that will. I could be wrong. Because,
I enjoy that they're doing that, because it's establishing that this is a real kind of place that has lived and been on, and you're not relying on the Paul Atreides, and not relying on having all these things. They're going to try to establish it. But my concern is that even though they're saying it connects to the films, it's going to feel completely distant, not because of the time period it's in, but because Denis had a clear vision of what he was doing with those movies. And if it feels off and it doesn't feel like it's part of that world when it's supposed to be, that could be a concern. So
yeah, I understand. I feel similar to you, but I do. Speaking of the comes before Penguin, in the similar vein, they have done such a good job of taking Reeves's world and just making it it's different, but in the same world completely.
Yep.
And they're doing such an excellent job with that. So Max oftentimes hits it. So I do have trust that they're doing it will be decent at least, but it will be hard to reach that level of achievement that Denis did.
Yeah, and I guess kind of furthering your guys' point that taking a shot right now when those movies, especially when this movie came out in the beginning of the year, and releasing a show at the end of the year inside of the same universe, could either be a great thing for the IP, right? Because it's one of these things that if it does deliver, similar to the point you're making with Penguin stuff, is that if it does deliver and it's a smash hit, 6 episodes, then because it's 10,000 years, they could do a show that's 1,000 years beforehand. They could do a show that is whatever it might be, and you could do something that leads into it if you wanted to do that. And you're not going to get Timothée Chalamet anywhere near a TV series right now, so you have to put it, either before or after or whatever it might be. I'm curious. I'm curious to see how they're going to do this and how it's going to work out. What do you guys think? Do you think this is going to be a hit show? Do you think it's going to be a shit show? What do you think? Put it out there and tell me. Thank you. All right, we have questions. We have lots of questions. So before we get to said questions, Brett was promoting them before, so I'll promote them again. And that, of course, are our friends over at Rocket Money. Love Rocket Money. I swear by Rocket Money. I can't even remember anymore looking at subscriptions to say, oh, I don't need those anymore, because Rocket Money has told me about them. And if I do sign up to something, it goes, hey, stupid, you don't pay, you're paying for that. You don't need it anymore. Stop that. It cancels subscriptions for me. It's done that for me. It keeps my finances in order. And it's a personal finance app. It helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions. It monitors your spending, and it helps lower your bills that you can grow your savings. You can see all your subscriptions in one place. You know exactly where your money is going. For any of you who don't want any more, Rocket Money can help you cancel them. And all you got to do is a few taps. It's been so just game-changing for me. I use it all of the time. There's over 5 million users, saved over 500 million in canceled subscriptions. It saves members over $740 a year when you use all of the app's features. So stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions. You go to rocketmoney.com/thing. 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 I do think that this is a thing that everyone, in the same way that you have Google on your phone, I think everybody should have Rocket Money on their phone. I think everybody should be signed. It's like how everybody doesn't have it. I have no idea. It is the most helpful thing I've ever had. Anyway, let's get to these questions, because you guys, Steph, you remember when you hit your 100. I think that when we went into the question section, I think you were like 25 or something, and then you had a big, huge run. So in order to beat Roxy and Mike, they had 73, I believe. You guys have 42 right now.
Okay,
Oh,
let's
good.
go.
Yeah.
We can do this.
That's a good start.
Yeah, Steph and I are growers, not showers. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
That's right.
Exactly, Brett.
That's right. And so we're starting with Derek Johnson, who just throws in some support. He gets you going. Anytime you have Derek in there, you got a good shot. Ian Davis said, I asked this question yesterday about the greatest action star of all time, and it seems like Arnold, Jackie Chan, Harrison Ford are the top three. So if you had to pick between these three, who's the winner? It's still, I don't, and this is the same thing I said yesterday, I don't feel that Harrison Ford is an action star. I think he's been in some action movies. I think he's more of a, I would say that Arnold, Stallone, and Jackie are action stars for sure. Out of the three of those, even though that's not the question at hand, I would say Arnold. If you're asking action star out of the three of them, pure on action movies, I still say Arnold. But Harrison Ford is the best actor out of the three.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say, Steph?
Who was the? It was
Arnold, Jackie Chan, and Harrison Ford.
Okay, Jackie Chan's the best action star.
Okay. Over
but
Arnold?
Yes.
Okay. Come on.
I mean, it's like this guy is a martial arts genius.
No one's debating that.
To me, that matters. Like
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Brett?
I would agree with Steph in just a pure, like, doing your own stunts and having spikes driven through your body.
It's not the question.
But no, I'm butting it.
All right.
I'm butting you. That's an improv technique. But no, Arnold all the way, because just in terms of a reign of action films and just purely being an action star. And then I agree with you that Stallone should be in there.
Yeah. Come on.
And not in the.
Hey, Brett, thanks for bringing me up.
I'm watching Tulsa King now.
Oh, it's great.
It's so good.
Yeah. Are you on season 1 or 2?
We binge season 1. We're on 2.
I haven't started. I got through like the first 10 minutes of 2. I have to pick it up. I finished.
Yeah.
I finished Rebel Ridge last night.
Oh, and
the movie's fine. He's great. He's great.
That's why I told you. Remember, because you were like, "How did you forget that you watched it?" And I'm like, "Because the movie's good."
It's not.
But he's great.
He's great. He is. I understand completely why he is getting cast in things and why he's a star. He's absolutely a star. He's got chemistry. Yeah. He's got charisma. He's got it all. But the movie itself is just kind of like, fine. I thought it was going to be a First Blood type thing. It isn't. They don't really dive too deep into why he's as good as he is and these other things, but it's more like the writing, not him. It wasn't his fault. Yeah, I was just kind of like, not, I don't want to say let down, but I left going, and then I started watching the Vince McMahon documentary on Netflix.
Oh.
Which is pretty, it's so far, it's stuff that I knew, but it's interesting. It's interesting.
He's an interesting character, isn't he?
Oh my God. What a dirt ass.
He's kind of silly.
He's a silly little bean.
He did some silly stuff.
Oh, he's a real filthmonger.
All
right, let's get to the next one. Is Roman Fedorak, who says, "Hey all, hope each one of your days is stellar." Thank you, Roman. Thank you for all your hard work. Steph, I've been watching your reactions to films. Do you have any new favorites of the ones that you've seen?
Oh, okay. This hasn't come out yet, but I just Romulus was
was great.
so good.
Oh, yeah, it was great. People are mad at me for that one.
What?
Because this is how I can't apologize, and I'm not going to change. Sam, my friend Sam and I, she was on, and
I'm not going to change.
I'm not going to change. We're on, and it's like Brett and I. When Brett went on it, we were watching the movie, and there's some times where we were cracking jokes, and people hated that we were joking, and I'm like,
oh,
screw you. It's like you're gonna watch the movie, don't tell jokes, and it's like watch something else. Because this is what this is.
Right. I mean, really, it's like, it's so fun. There are people who watch reactions and they're so, really feels like we're doing it together. And then there are some people where I'm like, you're a bully.
Yeah, it was so stupid. It was like telling me not to tell jokes or just watching. It's like, guy.
Right. A comedian.
You're watching, but you're watching someone watch something. I'm going to give my commentary on it instead of just going, hey. Whoa. I'm not doing that. No,
I'm not doing that.
Brett, it was like this stupid thing that there at the end, there's like this acid that's coming down, and it's like it's hanging in the air, and they're trying to like maneuver around and go through. And I say to Sam, I said it looks like a janitor on a porn set, right on the one is the first one, and then there's another one where and I almost didn't keep it in there, but I went to. This thing hits the main character with the tail. And then I said, I'm not going to say it. I go, oh, fine. I go, he dick slaps her. And people were mad. Like, some people were laughing.
Well, that's just, like, weird because I have a sense of humor.
Right.
But B, when we're talking about the original design of Alien, Ridley Scott has talked about how it has to do with like sexuality and the female male anatomy. So that I do feel like it goes hand in hand. That's why a lot of it is so grotesque, and it's like it looks like a dick. Like
so I said,
that's what it is.
And look, we watched Wild Robot together. She cried 5 times while watching it.
Who?
Sam. And you would love Sam, by the way. You guys would get along so well. But anyway,
that movie broke me.
Do you think I didn't crack any jokes during that one?
No, of course not.
Of course I did.
Yeah.
Of course I did. And I'm going to always do that. So if you're tuning into my reactions, no matter what they are, thinking you're not going to get jokes, he'll be serious on this one. Wrong channel. I tell you, the exchange that I had with Sam yesterday was actually pretty funny. I'll read it because it was I got a kick out of it. Where is it? So Sam and I were going back and forth. You know, remember, she's very new to this, right? So I got to find this freaking thing. But it was just I went to see the screening of Venom last night in the city, and as I was getting notifications, but it was pretty funny. I said, man, people did not like that we joked during this review. Ha ha ha. To which she said, one lady was so appalled at all the curse in the beginning and taking the Lord's name in vain. What the fuck? And I wrote, wrong channel, fuck face. And and that's it. Okay.
That's hysterical.
Yeah.
That movie was so good. I didn't do a reaction on that one. That was just at home, and that
comes out this Friday. Derek Johnson says, I asked this yesterday, but I'll ask Steph as well. Do you think it's harder now to create a true sci-fi epic, not a remake, but an original IP? It feels like fantasy is taking off and sci-fi is becoming less mainstream. What's your thoughts, Steph?
That's interesting. I feel like both are pretty hard to do nowadays that aren't attached to an IP.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to think what fantasy is taken off that is its own original IP that's new.
It's a good call. I'm not sure. It's a good. I mean, it's hard. It is harder to get things greenlit that aren't big IPs.
You can't get I know so many writers that want to write fantasy and do write fantasy and have fantasy scripts, but you can't get those produced unless you're massive. Like getting the budget, fantasy and sci-fi require massive budget usually.
Yeah.
So to get that budget, you need to either be a massive director or writer, or it's attached to an IP. So it's hard. I don't know any right now off the top of my head. I'm sure there's something, but
yeah. Haskell 420 with a big rumor here, Steph. Hey gang, I don't know if this rumor is true, but supposedly Zaflirt and Flouse and Steph were seen backstage at a Taylor Swift concert holding hands as Flouse is Taylor's secret songwriter. If true, Kate will lose it. I can say that if the rumor was over the last year, it's probably false because Steph is a taken woman. But if it was 2 years ago, I don't know.
Yeah. Or 2 years from now. She needs to be married a little longer.
Or 2 years from now, yeah.
Or 20 years. 20 years is a good time.
Will Flouse even be around at that point? So I don't know. Yeah, I know. C Black. Rumor is that Doctor Strange is replacing Blade. Really? That's
oh God.
I don't know. Mike Joyce. Steph, who is the better handyman? Is it Brett or Harry? Oh, that's a good question.
I'm so sorry, Brett, but this is like Harry's blood. He's like a third generation construction contractor, so he can just do anything. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, and I only did one handy thing for you, so there's no way.
Yeah, you did, but that was impressive. He took down the mount when I moved in, and he was like, "Did you put this up?" I said, "Absolutely not." My friend Brett did. He's like, "Yeah, this looks really intense."
Yeah, no. Brett knows what he's doing. I mean,
no,
I can't,
Brett is the best that I've seen. That's not someone who does. No,
Brett designed this whole freaking studio. It's the whole reason.
Yeah, I mean, it could be your full-time job, Brett. If it was, then you would be.
My wife was trying to convince him to start his own business.
Yeah,
he really should.
And then you just film it and put it on TikTok.
Yes, 100%.
That's an idea that I've wanted to do forever that I need to put in, because I actually was asked Kate one time if I could, because I did a lot of work for her, if I could come over and she would film while I'm doing it, and I would also teach people how to do.
Why didn't we do that? Why didn't we do that with the cameras here?
Right, that's ridiculous, you guys. You built a whole studio and didn't film it. It's about pumping out content. Also, you have children, free labor.
I filmed the first day of about for 10 minutes of me in the room that we can show people what it looked like beforehand.
Yeah, we should. We should. Oh, we did. Well, there is a video. There's a full show of me doing a show while he's painting the wall in the back, which is definitely.
I don't know if you know this about me, Kristian, but I don't follow through on a lot.
It's true. C Black, Wanda and Strange are the lead characters in the new movie. I mean, it adds up if they're trying to, go back to the old faithful stuff and try to get people into, like, hey, they're our greatest hits and doing that way. So Derek says, Brett, since you have your finger on the pulse of entertainment, can you tell us how John Voight from Anaconda would handle the future plans for the Alien and Rocky franchise? You don't do the impression. Just how would he handle it?
Oh man, with intensity.
Yes.
And with a very thick, non-denominational accent.
That makes sense. Total. Absolutely. And then Derek is coming in hot again. You guys are at 54. You're not too far away. You're only about 20 away from beating Steph and Mike. I don't know why I can't. Steph and Mike. I don't know why I keep saying I can't get Roxy's name. Roxy and Mike. The Dart 005. Who would you date, Brett? The Hawktua girl or Kathleen Kennedy?
Oh, Kathleen Kennedy all the way. The Hawktua girl's got to go. No, I mean,
why?
I'm sure she's a nice girl.
Why?
No.
I disagree. And not just for the filthy stuff that she says, but like the the fact that she
only said one filthy.
said
thing,
one filthy thing, and she built, and she took the ball that they gave her, and she ran into the end
She
zone.
Hail Married
and
that
she
shit.
spiked it. And she spiked it. There are some people who give
I
him.
misspoke.
Yeah.
That's just a bitter old man talking.
Yeah, I understand.
Right.
that
It
you can
is
become-
crazy to watch someone do an interview on the street and then now she's making more money than most people.
But I give
But
her,
you're right. She's doing it the right way.
Yeah.
She's trying to
she's got a
take the
podcast.
15 minutes and extend it.
She extended it,
and
and she did it in a way where, look, if what she did, there's a lot of people who, like, you look at people on The Bachelor, right?
Yeah.
Now there are people that, like, from where I remember I was there working there, that before social media really was able to blow up the way that it blows up people now. There are some people that are probably punching themselves in the head that they were on the show back in 2010 and not 2024, because you could turn an appearance on Bachelor in Paradise into basically what the Hawk Tour girl did if you do it the right way. But there are some people who just squander it and don't do it. I think she's doing it the right way. So
who the other person? Did you use Catherine Hahn, right?
Catherine Hahn is from Agatha.
Oh, who did they say?
Kathleen Kennedy.
Kathleen Kennedy, which you should definitely go with, because then you could just be a stay-at-home zaddy.
Yeah, there we go.
This is a dating. I would for if it's Catherine Hahn wins that all day long.
Yeah, that's.
Oh my God, that's not even a question.
She's one of the sexiest people in the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, Mirjam, Serenity Moon. Hey, Steph, what is one of your one of your favorite movies and or series?
In general?
Yeah, in general.
I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, just on the forefront of my life these days, Kung Fu Hustle has really moved up to a serious top 10 movie for me. It is, and I will say I am going to be a character from there for Halloween.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. And
yeah.
All right. That's good. That's a good good answer. How about Mike Joyce? Hey, Brett, what's your thoughts on the Seymour Butts scandal?
Oh man, come on, people. I mean, like, to be given that name in the first place, you've already been dealt a bad hand. And then when people attack you in the way they have attacked him, and I believe that all the allegations are wrong.
I don't even know. Is there an actual scandal?
No, I don't know.
Oh, okay. Mirjam, what kind of music do you like? Is that everybody or just Steph again? For me, it just depends. It depends. I like all music. I'm not a big country person. I don't poop on it, but I'm just not a big country person. But that's it.
I don't poop on any music. I like to keep my CDs and LPs in pristine condition.
Pristine condition. Yeah. Steph, you got to pick one genre of music to listen to. What are you going with?
Ooh.
Hip hop.
Hip hop.
Yeah.
You would have liked the questionnaires. Right? They had top 3 hip hop albums of all time. You'd go more modern. I went old school.
Yeah, me too.
I respect that.
Mirjam said, "Much love from the Netherlands." Thank you, Mirjam. Okay. We are now moving this on, as Derek says, why is the bar set so low for movies like The Flash, Venom, and other Sony projects? The MCU and DCU would get crazy reviews for putting out mediocre content like this. Is the mediocrity baked in and we just accept it now? Well, I think that with the case of Venom, well, first of all, The Flash wasn't wasn't accepted, obviously, because it didn't do very well, and it wasn't rewarded with mediocrity at all. I think when it comes to Venom, it's not a matter. It's a matter of they know what tone they were going for, and it's either accept that tone or you don't accept that tone. And I think that it does feel, the way that you go back and you look at the way they made 90s superhero movies, it looks like that's what they did with this movie, and people enjoyed that. I didn't, but there are certainly people who did. So I don't necessarily think it's a matter of the bar being set low, as it's just different ways to shoot things. Do you guys agree, disagree?
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. I think it's like what script went into production. What was the vision?
Right.
I don't think anybody makes a movie and doesn't want it to be fantastic. That I just don't believe that. That's why it's so hard for me to talk about movies or shows that I don't like, because it just no one goes into production not wanting to give it their all.
Yeah.
You're saying that people don't strive for mediocrity?
Maybe
That's
not.
strange.
Yeah.
Derek, at this stage of life, Brett, what is the thing you get excited about the most?
Oh geez, right now it's just hanging out with my kids because my son's gonna graduate soon.
Crazy.
So he's been learning guitar and bass, and I just really enjoy having like kind of adulty kind of nurturing conversations with my daughter where I feel like, you know, I love that she listens to me and actually is comfortable talking about more life type
that's so
picture
cool.
stuff. So yeah, my kids.
That's great.
And my wife's a piece of shit, but you know,
on her birthday.
We've gotten to a great place.
Yeah.
And yeah, I saw this thing recently that said, please don't get, it's a couple that says, please don't get mad at me. You're my only friend.
Oh.
And that's kind of how I feel, other than friends that I talk to occasionally, but like we're pretty much the only people we hang out with for the most part.
Makes sense. Okay, so Aaron Ambrose says, Kristian, I know Roxy didn't think that you should, but I'd love to see a reaction to episode 1 and 2 of Superman Lois. If reactions don't work, you can watch alone. Yeah, I do want to see them for sure, but I think that I'd suggest this stuff because everyone keeps telling me how great that show is, right? Superman and Lois. And I was like, well, I was talking to Luke and I was like, why don't you do the first one and see if anybody gives a crap about you watching it? And I was like, yeah, maybe I'll try that. So I'm thinking about it, but Roxy had a point where it's just like, the show's almost over. I'd have to catch up quick, but I might do it. I don't know.
Just don't joke during it.
I can't joke about anything.
Nope.
And I joked during One Piece, and the fan base didn't care. Joked about One Piece all the time. Okay, it's me, Steve-O. Did you hear about the Jonah Hill and Keanu new movie? No. Did you guys hear about this?
No. What a random duo.
It is random. No, I don't know about that movie. You gotta tell me. Okay, so this is from Dancing Dog 60. Shang-Chi 2 might be one of the unnamed movies. That's true. They announced that there's going to be some more movies that are popping in after the Avengers movies, and maybe Shang-Chi is one of those. Maybe. It's possible. Darian Harmon. Kristian, low-end theory over Midnight Marauders? Yeah, I think so. I do like Midnight Marauders a lot. Low-end theory was the one that I just, as a kid, just remembered it a lot more. Steph, save some coolness for the rest of us, please.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
And then it says, Brett, Brett, so please tell us more about building cars.
Oh, it was super fun. I'm so like chomping at the bit for those videos to come out, but it was a lot of footage stretched over a long time. And I'm itching to work on a motor recently because of this experience that I had. I want to buy a car to fix up.
Before we move on to the next question, Brett, check this out. This is your so we're over.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, we're at the comment section right now, and the comment section is, of course, right now. So flirt and floss, the flirt and floss, the flirt and floss, the flirt. 20 comments so far of so flirt and floss. So there you go. 20. That's not bad. Not bad. I was hoping for 40, but 20 on the replay maybe. Okay. So yes, low end theory over Midnight Marauders, but Midnight Marauders is great. Steph, you might do it again here. You're at 70.
Yes.
You're at 70,
Let's go.
and you might. Roxy was convinced that you and Brett would beat her. She might be right. Pete Parker, 2288. My theory is that Roxy had a really bad date with a guy who had big balls, and that's why she hates big balls so much. I'm kidding. I'm glad Steph likes him, though. Me too. I think Steph gets a kick out of him.
That's a heavy burden to carry.
Yeah, I agree. Brett gets a kick out of him, too. He never knows what he's going to say.
Yeah.
Stints. Han Cholo. Severance Season 2 trailer has dropped today. Did you watch Season 1? Yeah, loved it. Yeah. I know Roxy will be starting.
Trailer? Oh,
I don't want to watch the trailer. I'm going to watch the show. I don't want to watch the trailer.
Yeah.
Unless I'm going to do a video for it, which I won't. I'm staying away from it. I'm gonna dive into this series.
That out now.
Yeah, I know it'll be out soon, and I still need to watch Shrinking. Did you finish Shrinking?
Yeah, that was another one where I was disappointed that there weren't more out. But I guess it's
just
going.
Came out. It just came out. You mean you're saying Season 2?
more.
Yeah.
No, I mean there weren't more episodes.
Well, season 2 just dropped. Season 2 dropped the other day.
I guess what I'm saying is they're doing them one at a time.
Yes.
Yeah, which I actually said I prefer, but at times I don't because
Right,
we
because
go
you get so
we
excited,
brought
right? You want to watch it.
Agatha
Yeah.
and that, and what's next? We have to talk to each other.
I know. Derek Johnson, when Brett derails,
Love is blind, Brett. Love is blind.
When Brett derails the show, it's always in a good way that we all can just sit in the awkwardness of the moment. We've missed you, sir.
Yep.
Thank you, Puck.
Puck. Yeah. Apparently, he works at somebody. He's connected to the Ringer. I don't know how.
Yeah.
Dancing Dog 60. Which franchise do you think is which franchise do you all think it's the big screen first? Star Trek or Star Wars? We haven't seen a Star. Oh, never mind. He was missing something. Which franchise do you think hits the big screen 1st? Star Trek or Star Wars? We haven't seen a Trek film on screen for a while. Excelsior. I think Star Wars will hit first because I don't think they'd be able to crack Star Trek in a bit, and they don't even have any plans to do it. So, yeah, Steph, do you disagree?
Yes. No, I don't disagree.
Okay. Let's see. Derek says, "Where's your dream retirement spot?" Maui.
Ooh.
I just want to be in like a window house where there's just trees over me. So wherever I can just do that.
Yeah.
So maybe like Washington or NorCal.
Mm-hmm.
But then I would Maui's a good shout too. But yeah, I think I would more like a forest destination.
Brett?
If it's like a house that I own, it can be just about anywhere. That's where I'd like to be.
Okay, that's fair. Ian Davis, who do you guys feel is the greatest actor of all time? An actor who has sustained the longest career and has never slowed down with the quality of their films. I mean, it's too cliche. I gotta say Daniel Day-Lewis. I know he's retired, but he's coming back. But I don't. Can you ever point to a bad performance?
No.
Right. So I'd say Daniel Day-Lewis. What do you guys say?
Did Tom Cruise? Like,
I mean, would you say he's the greatest?
Bad?
No. Would you say he's the greatest actor out of all time?
I mean, just as far as consistently doing great films, I think not like in a thespian-y kind of way, but he does. I mean, I don't know. His cuckoo-ness aside, on the side stuff.
I think he's really good. I think he's a top movie star. I don't know if he's the best actor though. In my opinion, what do you think, Steph?
Maybe I'm like Robert De Niro or Al Pacino. But I might give it to Robert De Niro because I know they kind of play similar roles, but Robert De Niro like consistently. Well, his newest role, I don't know if it was his last film, but Killers of the Flower Moon, I feel like
he was great in that. Was
so distinguished and different than other roles he had done, and it's just like he doesn't stop. So maybe.
Joey Pedros, which book do you wish was adapted to a movie? It's a good one too. You know what? We were just talking about Rebel Ridge. I do think, people always ask what movies can't be remade, right? I'll tell you what movie could be remade. And that's First Blood, the first Rambo movie. And it is because the David Morrell book is a very deep dive into PTSD and the returning soldier and how it all works. And I think that the movie came out in 1984. The book came out in 1972 before the war was even over. I'd love to see them dive into that because it would have to be a one-off because Rambo dies in the book. But I'd love to see an adaptation of that book. Do you guys have any ideas?
I know they're doing a show adaptation of it, but I was hoping that they wouldn't so I could adapt it. But it's Throne of Glass.
Which one's that?
It's a newer fantasy series in the past 10 years. It's just really good.
You'd have to go like really dark with this one, but I'd say Amelia Bedelia.
Oh yeah, it's a good one.
Be my choice.
Judy B. Jones.
Judy B. Jones, Amelia Bedelia, any of those, but like really dark and gritty.
But what's that? What's that?
Detective.
Well, what's that book you told me you read? What was it about? The Lookout Skunk, Here Comes the Party.
Yeah, look out, skunk! Here comes the party. It's a 3-part series.
Right.
And it's it's a sci-fi fantasy book, and I think that would be a great one for Denis Villeneuve to take on.
Yeah.
They're huge books, and despite the goofy name, they are really, really.
Yeah, what was the name of the book again?
Look out, skunk! Here comes the party.
Okay, perfect. Who's in the party?
Well, the party gets political. It's political
Right.
parties, and they don't. What's nice is they're kind of bipartisan. They don't really
I
take
understand.
one side or the other.
Steph, you read the second book,
Yes, I did.
and did you like that? What was the whole thing with the deer with the chopped off foot? I don't remember that.
Oh yeah, that was the craziest part of it.
Yeah.
In the first like 5 pages, the foot gets chopped off.
Oh.
So you're like you have to
With a-
live the entire book with the character with his
Wow.
foot chopped off.
With a
and
cake
there's no
with a cake knife, right?
Yes, so you can understand how brutal that was,
Right.
and there's no nurses or doctors in this realm.
Well, there you go. So look out, skunk! Here comes the party, parts 1 and 2. So we also talked about Mike Joyce. Roxy mentioned how people lost their minds over her glory reaction yesterday. Does Steph have any other than True Lies that people went crazy over?
Oh yeah, the Transformers movies.
Oh, which one? Oh my God!
No, they are ride or die.
Wow.
Michael Bay, like, couldn't believe that I didn't like certain parts of
Wow.
the movies. Yeah.
Well, I'm with you on those. I'm probably getting killed also.
Yeah.
Yeah. That not good. Derek. Well, Steph just moved up on my favorite list with the Kung Fu Hustle selection for a movie. You got to check out Shaolin Soccer. Some main actors are just as crazy.
I love Shaolin Soccer.
You like that one too? Okay.
Yes.
And then you get Dancing Dog 60. Folks who bombed worse as a superhero. The Rock as Black Adam or Vin Diesel as Bloodshot. Vin Diesel as Bloodshot because Black Adam still made over $400 million. The only reason that it bombed is because of the money that they spent. They spent too much money on it. Spent over $250 million. The movie made 400 or 380, whatever it made. It made money. Bloodshot, I don't even know if it cracked 100. So yeah, Bloodshot. Do you guys disagree?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. Gopie. Here he is. I'm a huge fan of Dune, but the current movies and all of Frank Herbert's books. I'm a huge fan of Dune, both the current movies and all of the books. My small worry about this show is it's based on Brian's book. Which one? Which is Brian's book? Is that his son or something? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not familiar.
Not sure.
Yeah.
Susan Frere. And then we got Julius, who says, Kristian, do you think the Yanks can actually go all the way? Yeah, of course I do. I mean, their bats need to all wake up. They can't just rely on Soto, Judge, and Stanton. Everybody needs to hit. And Judge is sleeping right now. Judge wakes up, and all three of those guys start hitting. The pitching's doing great right now. So, hoping.
Agree, Steph?
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, they're just sleeping in the outfield.
You're not rooting for the Dodgers, are you guys?
I like the Padres, and I like the Dodgers because we're getting some more Japanese flavor in there, so it's hard to deny it. I don't know,
Yeah, it's
but
pretty easy to deny it.
Well, Kristian, do you know how fake I would be if I was like, yeah, I'm a Yankees fan? I have no connection.
Wait, me?
Okay, yeah. Okay, this is what I appreciate about Yankees and Boston fans. They're so ride or die.
Yeah.
They don't care where you're from. They want you on their side.
Yes. And you should not root for the Dodgers. You don't care about the Dodgers.
Yeah, come on.
No, I don't care.
Right.
I don't care.
Right. So next time you throw a Yankees hat. All right. Derek
Steph,
Johnson.
would you wear a T-shirt that had Father Mulcahy on it, and it was called the Padres?
Oh my God, the bald guy.
And Father Mulcahy was in MASH, and they called him Padre.
What a reference, MASH. Wow. Pete Parker, 2288. I hope Steph and Brett can win this week. My top rap is the Chronic, Dr. Dre, Eminem show, and Damian Marley, Nas, Distant Relatives. Those are all really good ones. Those are really good ones.
Yeah.
Well, Steph and Brett have beaten Mike and Roxy. They're at 82. So you have beaten them today. Now the question is, if Steph can do 100 again, it'd be crazy because then, look, you never know what Winston and Coy are going to do. Those two could put on a show. But
That's
right
true.
now, Steph is firing at all cylinders. Go Pie. Frank Herbert wrote 6 books, but died before finishing the last one. Then Brian Herbert decided to finish 15 years later, but he isn't a good writer, and he got sidetracked on 17 other trilogies.
God.
So that's not great.
That's
You hate
grueling.
to hear it.
Yeah. Shoot. Yeah, that is concerning. Mirjam, Serenity Moon. Did any of you watch Hacks? Roxy swears by it. I don't watch it. Do you watch it?
Yes.
Do you love it?
I love it. I'm not caught up, but I
Okay.
do love it.
Joyous Romer. Hey guys, may the force be with you and also with you. Juan Martinez. Hey gang. Brett, what's your favorite board game at the moment? On the spot.
Oh, on the spot. Space Base, it's called. It's a nice one if you want something that's difficult enough to keep your attention, but not too difficult that you're like, oh, I want this over. So check it out. Space Base.
Space Base. All right. Not Space Ace.
No.
Okay. Derek Johnson. I jest to Oberon and make him smile, Brett.
Excuse me?
He said I jest to Oberon and make him smile, Brett. I don't know what it means, but I'm assuming
Oberon would be Midsummer Night's Dream, I believe.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Maybe that's what it is. Okay. So, and that's from Derek the Great. Wicked Art. Have you watched any of the Arcane trailers? It's looking epic, and I cannot wait. Sorry the comic is taking so long, but it'll be worth it. First of all, I don't apologize because we want you to. This is Wicked Art, who has put together the comic that we have, and by the way, if you guys didn't know already, that the comic is available to all not all patrons, but to patrons at a certain level, at members at a certain level, and then once they're all done, we're gonna do the voiceover work on it. We're gonna do a full it's gonna be
nice.
2.5 hours with music and sound effects and all that stuff. It's gonna be really good. So yeah, the Arcane trailers. That was another one. I watched the first one, said, you know what, don't need to see it. I'm gonna watch it, but I liked what we've seen so far.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm not watching the
Yeah.
trailers because part of what I was obsessed with season 1 was just I didn't play the game, so I had no idea where it was going.
Yeah, well, I don't think the games actually have anything to do with it. I think it's
okay.
more. I think that there's just the characters themselves and there's certain things in the world itself. But like, I think the story that they formulated was just for the show.
Okay.
C Black. Does Doomsday and Secret Wars make more money than Endgame? I think they want it to, but I don't think there's any chance. I don't think.
Tough.
Because I just think that I don't think they're the same. It was like watching Endgame was like watching a series finale of a television show. This is,
I think, you got to go down the line a little bit longer before we're going to beat that. You got to have something that they've done like the same thing where they've made a bunch of great ones and then drive it home.
But leading to some story that like the story, it's like, well, how are they going to do this? Where are they going to, they kind of teased Thanos for a bit and then they finally brought him in. So no, I don't think it's going to make that kind of money. Steph, do you think it's going to beat Endgame?
No.
Yeah.
No.
No. Mirjam, what kind of animation movies and/or series do y'all really love? Well, we were just talking about Arcane. Arcane is one of the best animated series that I have seen in a very long time, and even rewatching it with my daughter over the summer was just great. I would say Arcane.
Animated series?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of one that I've told people that they should watch more than Arcane.
Yeah,
I got one.
Good.
Sorry, and I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
I've just been introduced to Bluey.
Oh, Bluey's hilarious.
Dude, it's so good. I really wish. Well, I mean, the good thing is my daughter does watch it, and she showed it to both my wife and I, and we were crying our eyeballs out. But I wish I had a littler one that I.
Should I pay attention to? Should I pay attention to it more? Because my daughter watches it all the time.
Oh yeah, it's like they throw in some great like stuff for the adults.
Yeah.
And they also like really hit the heartstrings.
Natalie Portman had a little voice role.
Oh, really?
In that. Yeah, I think she played herself in like something because like she was like a Bluey fan or something. Dancing Dog 60. Gang, which fictional characters do you think have the best sex lives? Lois and Clark, or Peter and Mary Jane? Lois and Clark, definitely. You just got to be careful, like the old Kevin Smith thing, though. You just got to be careful. He blows a low like a shotgun and takes her back out.
Right.
Yeah. Yes, it's a junior high level question. Sure, but I would say Lois and Clark. They're the sexier of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah. So far you guys are at 93. 93.
Nice.
And with how much left? With half an hour left to go.
Oh
you guys have a shot to get to 100. Steph, you're gonna get. No one has done that. No one has done that. Gotten to back-to-back performances 100. No one's done that.
You guys like me?
I know. You last. So okay. Pete Parker 2288. I heard Brett's a huge Dodger fan. How come?
Yeah. Because of the hot dogs.
Yes.
Dodger dogs.
That's fair.
That's why.
Derek Johnson. Hey Brett, you called me Puck. Did you forget that fast? And then Daniel Breen, excuse me. Is Boyega back in Star Wars after the teases at Comic-Con? I do think that if that Rey movie happens, he shows up in the Rey movie. But other than that, no.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Joyous Romer. Whatever happened to the Smith Lord from Collider days? Talking about Tiffany Smith. Tiffany Smith has been Tiffany is one of my favorite human beings on the entire planet. She is a sweetheart of a human. She is just a wonderful person. And she is someone that I know. It's like I do have a thing where if I don't hear from people in a while, and if I reach out to them and they don't ever reach out to me, I go, how much do they really give a crap? Like if you're not working with them or anything, they reach out, you go, is that really a real friend? Tiffany will always pop up. What's going on? Send something. How are you? Thinking about you, always. And she does it with everybody. Riley and I were talking about it too. She is she's acting. She's been doing tons of stuff. She's got a new film that she's been working on, and she's been great. She played Meghan Markle in that movie, which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Susan Freer. I heard Brett has a hog on him.
Yep.
Who's she?
Yep. I call it Babe Pig in the City.
Babe. That's so good. That'll do, Pig. Derek Johnson, thank you, buddy. Julius Wyatt. I saw a re-release of Whiplash. Do you all like the movie? I saw that they were re-releasing that movie, and I love that movie. Great film.
Oh, jeez.
It's a great film. It really is. I remember that movie came out. It was just such a great movie. Okay, so currently 97, and we're at the end. So I wonder if we just we'll see if there's something out there to see if you can hit it, Steph. And then it's at the moment I don't think there's anything else story wise. Okay, wait, yeah, we do. This is a story I actually really want to know because I don't know. John Turturro he played Falcone in the Batman movie, but did not play him in the Penguin. So here's the reveal. As far as do you know this story yet, Steph?
No.
All right. The Batman actor, John Turturro, reveals the real reason he didn't return as Carmine Falcone for the Penguin. We were told that John Turturro couldn't reprise the role of Carmine Falcone due to scheduling, but the actor has now revealed the real reason he didn't return. John Turturro played ruthless Gotham City mob boss Carmine Falcone in the Batman, but he didn't reprise the role for the Penguin, with Mark Strong taking over as a younger version of the character. During a recent interview, showrunner Lauren LaFranc said that the decision to recast the role came down to scheduling. Well, practically John was just unavailable to us. He had scheduling conflicts, and we couldn't make it work. But honestly, I'm so thrilled that we brought Mark Strong on. I think he's really good, even though maybe in the beginning when you first meet him, you might think, oh, well, for fans of the Batman, I'm so used to John Turturro. And obviously, John's a great actor, but I feel like the gravitas that Mark brings, it's different. It's very specific, and I hope by the end of the episode, you're just thinking that's Carmine Falcone, and you're engaged in what Mark brings. Well, as it turns out, that's not exactly true. While Turturro might have committed to another project when the show is filming, the actor has now revealed the actual reason he declined to return. I did what I wanted to do with the role, he told Variety. In the show, there was a lot of violence towards women, and that's not my thing. It happens off screen in the Batman. It's scarier that way. Okay, except it doesn't all happen off screen in the film. Falcone brutally attacks his own daughter towards the end of the movie, and almost succeeds in choking her to death. That said, The Penguin has been a pretty violent show so far, and Sophia Falcone's flashback episode was particularly grueling. The Penguin also stars Michael Kelly. The whole thing, 8-episode continues. Batman crime saga that filmmaker Matt Reeves began. Okay, just gets credits at the end there. So that's interesting. that he said that. I am curious though, because like he doesn't necessarily do the violence, inside of it, but that's an interesting. He's been in a lot of violent stuff too. It's very interesting. I mean, the guy played a pedophile in the Big Lebowski, so it's his interesting that's his choice. What do you think, Steph?
Yeah, I think that I don't know if that's the full story. The character is so small to me. To me, it's just about Sophia. Like she has completely somehow almost become more important to me than Penguin, and it's Oz's show. She is everything. So I really think he's just like he's the part of her story, but I wasn't that focused on the actor. I think he did a great job, but I don't think it was that necessary for him to come back. I wasn't bothered by it at all.
Yeah, I did. I think that the showrunner was right though, because I did absolutely forget at one point, because Mark Strong is so good that I was like, okay, he's taken over the role pretty well, and the character I understand for sure. So yeah, it's a bummer to lose to Toro, but I did think by getting Mark Strong, I don't think it hurt the show.
No.
Yeah. Okay, so Derek Johnson says, I hope this pushes you over. It does. Steph ends it once again with 102.
Nice.
102. So 102. Steph is this first person in history so far to do 2 back-to-back performances over 100. So there you go, Steph. Now it's going to be up to Winston and Coy to see if they could finish out the week. Yeah, it's true.
Losers.
Yeah. So
They don't know shit about.
I don't know shit. Steph, what do you got going on today? You got Will Girls?
Yes, we have World Girls at 6 p.m. PT on the channel.
Brett, how about yourself? What's going on?
Yeah, well, you guys are doing a great job. Go over there and check out one of the episodes of Everything's a Game on the Above Board TV channel. And there was a sketch I did a while back that's up there now. And look out in November, I believe we're going to start dropping those videos of me prepping a car for Wasteland Weekend.
Amazing. And then, so there was 2 more here. Pete Parker, 2288. Jackie Chan is the best stuntman all day. He almost died. I don't disagree with that. I had a conversation. Like Mike was trying to tell me that Tom Cruise is a better stuntman. I think he's nuts. Madi Remen, thoughts on Vox Machina season 3 so far? I haven't watched it. You watch it, Steph?
Yes, it's so good. I love this show. I think it's one of the best shows on right now.
Vox Machina, and that's the I know which one that is.
It's like the campaign.
Yeah. I wonder if my daughter has tried that out yet. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's really raunchy. Like really raunchy.
Oh, okay. So,
yeah, it's like rated R raunchy.
Oh,
It's like Deadpool. It has a Deadpool vibe.
She watched a little bit that Has Been Hotel, and I'll never let her watch that ever again.
Oh yeah, it's exactly.
Oh, it's like that.
Exactly in the temperature of that. What are they being for Halloween?
So I think whatever. Do you know what my little one's going as a twisted angel, whatever that is. Every time I ask her, she's like a twisted angel. I go, okay, whatever twisted angel is. And then an
angel that takes your money and jumps you on the side of the road.
And it breaks your legs and buries you in a ditch.
Yeah.
So she that's what she's going as. My oldest is something from either Five Nights at Freddy's, or she's obsessed with this new virtual comic now. So she'll probably do something from there. So I don't know. So there you go.
Okay.
But thank you. Are you guys going to Halloween parties, or now that you're married, you don't go to those anymore?
I think so, but nothing like crazy.
Yeah, there's Halloween parties. There's 2 times for me that Halloween is exciting. It's when you're a kid, and then when you're single.
Yeah.
That's when Halloween parties are fun.
You know, I was excited.
Or when you're older and if you have older rich friends.
Sure. And you just gonna have like a big costume party or something too.
Yeah.
I do think for my
You
birthday.
didn't enjoy it with your kids. I think when you're with your kids, that's enjoyable.
But I like watching them. But I like watching them dress up. I don't want to dress up like an asshole.
Oh, see, we love doing a dress up as a family and doing themed ones and stuff like that. And my sister, because I basically gave birth to my brother and sister, same age difference, everything. My daughter's been invited to 2 parties.
Nice.
And we haven't had her go to a party that's like a boy girl kind of party before.
So nervous?
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go.
Yep. There you have it, Steph.
Stints.
Good luck. I remember my first Halloween party.
Oh,
that doesn't give you
man.
enough courage. Look at that.
Sorry, it was like the one. Yeah. Well, the only thing worse than a Halloween party for kids is New Year's Eve. I think New Year's Eve is the worst.
Ugh.
Perfect. That's good.
Because
That's good.
everyone's like, "Let's have a kiss," and that's disgusting.
Yeah.
Good luck. All right. That's it. That's the show. Thank you guys for being here today. I really appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow, Winston and Coy. So, Winston and Coy have to hit 104. Can they do it? We'll see. Or is Steph going to win it again? So, thanks for being here. I appreciate you guys very much. And check out our wonderful sponsors. As you can see, they are the best. That's why I continue to have them back on the show. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are found. Check out our Clips channel if you haven't checked that out. I just put this clip up of the Zach Morris fight. Mark Paul Gosselaar talking about that fight. And it's doing pretty well. So head on over there. I got some more stuff releasing today. Thanks again. We'll see you guys on the flip side. Thanks to Steph. Thank you to Brett. Bye-bye, everybody. Peace out.